I don't like to think in terms of opportunities at this point. I would put it, at least in my area, more in terms of the biggest challenge that we face over the next decade. I've dealt with international affairs in my career now for about 25 or 30 years. And we are in the midst of one of the historic global transformations that is going to eventually lead to a new world order. The shape of that we don't know at this point, but we know the processes that are underway. It's commonplace now to talk about the shift in global dynamism from the Europe, Atlantic region to Asia and the Pacific region. We've seen the tumult in the Arab world that started a couple of years ago. But we also know that the whole notion of power in the international system is changing. Before we talked mainly in terms of military power. We know economic power is much more important now. Soft power has become a very popular and almost voguish topic to talk about now. We've also seen that the fundamental building block of our international system, the sovereign state, you see it under stress from supranational organizations, sub-regional organizations, terrorist groups, transnational corporations, transnational non-governmental organizations, and so forth. We're seeing now that because of globalization, there is a tension between global processes and national regulation. We see that most vividly in financial flows that move around the globe almost instantaneously because of the internet, and yet it's still regulated largely by national regimes. And finally, we've seen globalization, the rise of new technologies, lead to an adjusting of the balance between state and society. I think most vividly right now in the Middle East. And so a massive global transformation. And all these forces, all these developments are going to play themselves out over the next decade. And the question is whether we can turn this challenge into an opportunity. Because there is an opportunity to take these various forces and build a new world order that will help create and sustain peace, prosperity, and justice well into the 21st century.